Og post. First of all, thank you so much for the support on my first post. I did not expect it to gain that much attention. I guess a lot happened since then? I don't know if it's even been a week yet. But this is going to change my life, perhaps. For the better. There were hundreds of comments, and I'd thought I'd address a few questions regarding the rape itself. I don't appreciate how some of these were asked, but I'll share anyway for the sake of clarifying things. 1. Was I under the influence? Yes, but I remember vividly saying no. I was drunk enough to have all my strength and mobility wonky, but I didn't black out or anything. The force he used on me didn't seem that of someone who was drunk. He looked completely sober, but I could be wrong. I remember a couple of times when I was trying to lift myself off the bed and he would push me back down. I remember the expression on his face. Like you guys said, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. That's all I'm willing to share. For now, the only person who knows all the details is Tina. Is it bad that I wish she knew nothing now? Maybe it would hurt less. 2. Why didn't I report it? Because I saw how that turned out for other girls I knew. I've had a few other friends, not Tina, who have had the same thing happen to them and nothing came out of reporting it, and it made them feel worse. Just the few comments calling me a liar stung, so I can't imagine how I would have felt back as my unstable teen self. Not only that. I was scared of what Rod would do if he found out I had reported him. There was just something about him that made me never want to cross him. Reading all your comments, it seems pretty clear that how Tina was treating me was extremely inconsiderate. And I should find a new friend. Although it was a huge slap in the face, I came to my senses and believed that I couldn't be around someone who would do that to me. Some of you said to expose them during vows, but that's just not the kind of person I am, and it might not turn out well. A few of you gave me example texts I could send, which I am extremely thankful for, but I decided to send this. I've had time to think about it, and I just can't be your maid of honor anymore. It's so hurtful that you are telling me to pack up my trauma for who knows how long until your wedding day. I just can't do it. I don't think I will come at all knowing that he's going to be there. I'm sorry. It's pretty weak, but it's probably the meanest text I've ever sent. An hour later, I get a call from Josh. He asked me what was going on with me and Tina, and that she was extremely upset. A part of me snapped and I said, I don't know, what's going on with you making someone who raped me best man? I don't usually blurt things out like that. He was confused and I repeated myself. He was silent for a few seconds and then asked if he could come over. I was a little wary of the idea, but I said sure. I know, we should be social distancing, but this really needed to be discussed. He comes to my apartment 40 minutes later without Tina. I have never hung out with Josh one-on-one before, it was always with Tina. Josh always had a really cute and sweet personality, and I've always approved of him when it came to dating her. He was really only a friendly acquaintance to me though. We sat down and spoke for over an hour. Tina had told Josh that the reason I wasn't coming to the wedding was that I didn't want to work with Rod, because I had a crush on him, and thought she was forcing the relationship too much. So basically, she said we had a petty girl fight. My jaw hit the floor and I was fuming. She had obviously never told Josh what Rod did to me. I shared that Rod had raped me back in high school, and that Tina knew about it. I asked if he knew too. He said he didn't, but at one point Rod did mention that a few crazy bitches falsely accused him of rape senior year. This obviously didn't include me, since I only told Tina and a few family members. Josh believed him at the time, but I guess after hearing Me say it, it's starting to dawn on him that his friend was a liar. Here's something that I didn't expect. Josh shared with me that he was raped when he was a kid by an older brother of a friend he had. He said that if he was forced to work with said brother on a wedding, he would absolutely refuse. He apologized heavily on behalf of Tina, but I won't forgive unless she says it herself. I know some of you may think Josh is lying, but I believe him. I could see it by Josh's face and body language that the realization really weighed down on him, and I felt bad. In a way, we were both going through a betrayal. I asked if he was okay to go home, and he said yes. He thanked me for telling him and left. I don't know if I'll stay in touch with him, but I was beyond furious with Tina at this point. I was expecting an angry text coming from her, and sure enough, I got it at like midnight. She went off saying that, "I'm gonna end up destroying their marriage, how could I do that to her, etc. etc." I just pressed the block button and went to bed. Quickest decision ever made. I'm feeling a little down in the dumps right now, yet slightly relieved. I'm going to try to connect with other friends and try to move on from this. If I'm feeling brave enough, I might try to find these crazy bitches and see if we can make a case against Rod. Knowing that there are other victims makes me feel so guilty I want to scream. Sorry it's not too happy of an ending, but I think it might have been more unhappy if I decided to go along with it. Thank you Reddit. I'm livid for you, op. Fuck that noise. Tina showed her true colors and she never told Josh the truth. Josh sounds like a decent guy. You should stay in touch with him, especially since it sounds like in the reckoning with Josh and Tina he's going to have to clean house, ending toxic friendships. There may be pressure on him to rug sweep, so hearing a voice of reason like yours may be a help. Tina doesn't deserve him, nor does she deserve your friendship. She's a liar and betrayer. She chose to protect a rapist, all to not make waves. It wasn't like her fiancé was pressuring her to include Rod. Knowing everything, she made the executive decision to hide the rape and lie about why you backed out of the wedding. Terrible.
This is a somewhat wonderful update. While disappointed to see your friend, Tina, failing at being a friend, it brings me great pleasure to see Josh is a great human being and you are no longer working with this scumbag named Rod. You just saved yourself a lot of headache and emotional pain and probably saved Josh from a horrible person. Win-win really. And amp, #X200B, edit, mistake, apparently I forget the names of shitty animals.
So she never apologized for lying when she contacted you? So she was just pissed that you told the truth.
Glad that you stood up for yourself. Wow, Tina is a real boss. I don't understand why she went even further and lied to her fiancé. It speaks volumes that her fiancé showed up to get your side of the story. With her blatant lying, she probably is single now per her midnight text to you. By the sounds of it, you helped her fiancé dodge a bullet. He comes off as a very centered, compassionate person opposed to his soon-to-be ex-fiancé.
And GT, knowing that there are other victims makes me feel so guilty I want to scream. I get this, but try to let yourself off the hook here. The only one who should feel guilty is Rod. Your decision-making regarding reporting this was entirely sound. Your health and well-being come first, above all else. You've conducted yourself so well through all of this, it's seriously impressive. Thank you for sharing your story with us and best of luck to you.
Deleted.
I hope it was okay to share the thing about Josh, since that isn't his real name.
Proud of you. You were honest and true to yourself. What other people do with that is on them. I'm so rooting for you.
I feel this is definitely one of the better outcomes. I'm happy that Josh is reevaluating his decisions based on what he was previously unaware of. I feel that while you lost a long-term friend, overall you took back some power that you didn't know you lost. Maybe this Josh fellow could end up being a friend in the future, who knows? In case no one close to you says it or anything, be proud in yourself. You're strong and can work through this. Best wishes for the future.
I hope he leaves her lying fake ass.